Hello everybody, welcome to Bear Beer Reviews. For tonight's review we've got quite an interesting little beer, but not only because it has the name Bear in the title. Look, it is Thornbridge's Bear State. We all know Thornbridge. These guys pop out things like Jaipur, Jaipur X, Cocoa Wonderland, loads of really interesting zany beers. They kind of bridge the gap. Everyone seems to love Thornbridge because they bridge the gap between traditional cask ales and like more crafty, define craft beer kind of styles. And this West Coast is like an evolution of kind of the Jaipur, I suppose, into a proper full style West Coast IPA, all about those resinous hop flavours, less even more about the malt character. We all know Jaipur, we all love Jaipur, right? It's that big beast that everyone talks about. Although recently I found some issues with it. I don't think the quality's been as good, and the Jaipur X hasn't really impressed me. But there's I've got a new bottle of it, and everyone's saying it's tasting a lot better second bottle round. So we're going to review the second batch bottle and see what we think of that. I've already poured this one out because I'm sharing with a friend, and I want to get my thoughts down before I go down and finish the bottle. I'm being very antisocial. So it poured out, and it did have quite a nice thick head in it, a little bit more than that. You can see it's already had a bit of lacing in the glassware as well. Head's still kind of sticking around. Lovely crystal clear little beer we have in front of us as well. Just kind of got a hint of colour to it, a little bit of peachiness, but still quite pale in colour as well. I'm going to pour a little bit more out. Don't tell him. Don't tell him. It's our secret. And on the aroma, on the nose, I get like a humongous dank edge to this beer. I get a lot of like marijuana, weedy ganja notes. I also get kind of like a lot of citra in it. Like I get a particularly butyric note from all kind of citra hops, and I get that coming through a lot. That kind of mango, sweet orange, but this slightly fusty dankness to it as well. But what I must say is it doesn't, and it didn't kind of zing out the glass when we poured it. We were both kind of like, whoa, it's just lacking a humongous punch of aroma. You really have to kind of go, even if I do that, not huge amounts coming through, but you really have to give it a good smell. It's not as punchy as you know. I've just come back from the west coast of California, and I've tried every IPA under the sun out there because I love them, and they all had just the most pungent aroma, just straight from the glass. Hold it out like that, you could smell it. So it's not as pungent as I would like, but it definitely does have some hoppiness in there. Let's not be around the bush there. So cheers everyone. Let's get in there and give it a good try. Well, and this is where another kind of issue comes through. I get quite a lot of sweetness at the beginning of this beer that I don't think is probably necessary. I get a lot kind of like sweet orange flavours, and again that kind of mango and tropical passion fruit. And it kind of starts with this sweet malty note, this kind of caramel and toffee, goes through this sweet orange and mango, and then finishes on a dankness with a little bit of peppery spice. But what I'm really lacking here is this kind of resinous, piney note as well that would kind of help flesh it out. It kind of seems to be simultaneously lacking freshness from like massively bursting out the glass juicy fruity flavours, and lacking this resinous edge as well. I seem to get kind of like a generic sweet citrus and then dankness. It's just not as punchy as I would like. It's even in like the sweet spot. It's a 7% IPA this, and that's my absolute favourite kind of zone. That 7% I think is where you can get the most aroma and flavour from hops without getting it too much malt character, and it's starting to become a little bit kind of barley wine-esque, my personal opinion. And I was a little bit disappointed with this, unfortunately. It's by no means a bad beer, and I would certainly drink a few of these, and I'd love to try it on keg. And you know, who knows with bottles, if they've been sat around on a shelf in sunlight for a little while, you just can't tell, right? It should be relatively fresh though, 24th of the 3rd, yeah, so it's less than a month old. I don't know, it just seems to be lacking. For me, that kind of the extra something that takes it from just a standard IPA to like an exceptional one. It's just lacking here. Having said that, this is still a 7.5 out of 10 beer. It's a good IPA. Oops. It's a good IPA. I would definitely probably drink another one, and I'd love to try it again and see what it's like in other iterations. But please tell me, like, favourite, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think. You've tried this. To me, it's a little bit, it could be better, but it's still a pretty good beer. half of my mates have been singing its praises for ages, and they're going to be like, "What are you talking about, you lunatic beer snob?" Which is true, I am. So please, yeah, tell me what you think. I would love to know. And thanks for listening to me ramble. Kind of a midway through the beer ramble. I normally like to do them from start, so it's like a fresh impression. But I thought it was important to come out and have a try with this one. So yeah, I better go downstairs and finish my drink anyway. Until next time, everyone. Cheers.